Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? How y'all doing today? Y'all, we need to talk about what happened in Alabama on that brawl. The co-captain has spoken out. Now, listen, if you guys don't know, there's a little bit of confusion. That guy in a white shirt that got beat down, that started the whole Alabama thing, he was not a security guard. He was a co-captain of the Riverboat. Why was he on the dock? Because that little boat, I think they call it a platoon. I'm going to get into a statement because, baby, let me tell y'all what he said. He literally said that they threatened to delete him, and he got death threats from them and just held on for dear life, including being spit on. So let me just say these facts, because every single time I make a video, what's up, everybody? Right? Every time I make a video, people are in the comments not understanding the facts. I understand that there's a lot going on. So let me just give you a definitive timeline. Oops. Let me just give you a definitive timeline, okay? Now, what was the co-captain, the first mate, doing? Well, he went over to move the platoon. The platoon is that small boat that those rednecks were on, and it was docking. It was messing up the Harriet being able to dock, okay? So they sent a little boat to the dock for him and a ship hand, a 16-year-old boy, to go and move the boat. The captain, not the co-captain, that's the guy that got beat up, but the captain said that it's very, very common in boating arenas and boating things for people to move boats if other boats can't dock. They moved the boat a few feet so the Harriet could dock. They tied the boat up so it was safe. The captain then docked the boat. The boat was docked. Those people you see running down to help that guy, though they were boat workers and boat employees. Again, after that, the boat security got involved. They had on the blue shirts, and also people that were celebrating some type of reunion on the boat too. It turned into a melee, a justified melee, but a melee. Now that we know that, right? Listen to this, because you guys know that I've been very, very critical at the fact that the captain did not try to help at all. And no, dummies, I'm not talking about when the boat was out floating in the water. I'm talking about once the Harriet docked, right? And for people being like, oh my God, the captain can't leave his ship. The reason why I'm so upset at the captain is he gave an interview. And keep this interview in mind as you hear what this guy has to say. That says that basically called the guys that brutally beat his co-captain up, called them pranksters. They were always playing jokes, right? It was given really good old boy energy. And it disgusts me that so many people are defending that captain as if he's an ally when he's not. Your friend, your co-captain got brutally beat up in front of you. Okay, you didn't do anything, you couldn't, but you're not describing his attackers, right? And mind you, he had talked to this guy when he made this interview, so he knew what the guy's account was. You're now saying his attackers like always played pranks and, just got out of hand. And the captain also said he didn't think it was about race. Anyway, I'm just saying, just because somebody sounds like somebody's grandfather handing out Weatherford's original and they're not burning crosses and call you the N-word does not mean they are an ally. You need to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm serious, and listen to their words. If you go and research, I'm not Google, go Google the whole interview. He is not an ally. If anything, he is hemming and hawing, because he's like, oh, on the boat, we're like a family, and it shouldn't have happened and all this other stuff. He's trying to kind of take it easy on the guys with the boat and not. And for the end, the only people he said was the 16-year-old was pressing charges. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. Let's just get into this, okay? And again, let's just keep things peaceful in the comments. We don't want any anti-Black comments, and we don't want any mean comments, okay? All right, let's go. The Riverboat Brawl co-captain said, I got death threats from boaters. I just held on for dear life. They said the Alabama Riverboat co-captain who got into the epic fight with a group of white boaters says that the men threatened to beat him to death during the wild melee. This is directly from TMZ. Damian Pickett, the co-captain of the Harriet II, the passenger ferry, and the man who tossed his hat in the air, TMZ's trash for that, told police the boaters who ganged up on him peppered him with threats during the beatdown on the docks, telling him, "I'm gonna kill you, MFer. Beat your AA, MFer." Damien's claims are part of a written account of the incident first obtained by NBC News, where he tells police his side of the story. The co-captain says crew members on the Harriet II asked the folks on the pontoon boat, that's a little rinky-dink redneck Cracker Barrel thing, to move several times because it was docked where the ferry needed to land. And he says the boaters responded by giving him the middle finger. Damien says he and a dockhand, that's a 16-year-old boy, went to shore and untied the pontoon boat, moving it 3 steps to the right before tying it back to the dock to clear space for the Harriet II. And that's when he claims 2 of the boaters ran up to him and yelled, "Don't touch that don't touch that boat, MFer, or we will beat your ass." The co-captain says the men continued to threaten them, and then the pontoon boat's owner, dressed in a gray shirt and red shorts and a sun visor, you remember that redneck, right? Little redneck, eventually came over and got in his face. That's also the man, right? That's also the man that got, I believe, got in his face. Okay. That's not the guy that got hit with the chair. Damien says the guy who threw the first punch was a tall, older white guy who hit him in the face. And he says he soon found himself being attacked from all angles as he started defending himself and fighting back. The co-captain couldn't tell police how long the brawl lasted, explaining, "I grabbed one of them and just held on for dear life." So far, 4 people have been charged for the brawl. Alan Todd, he's that redneck that had the salmon shorts that ran to the fight, drop kicked him in the face, and knee kicked him in the face, grabbed his body, twisted him around, could have broke his spine and flipped him. And even when they were pulling that redneck off of him, he tried to put his thighs around his the neck and do a choke. They were trying to take him out. They were trying to take him out. And it's so crazy to me that people are making excuses for a docked boat. The captain also says, this is the love boat. The captain does not have to stay with the ship once the boat is docked. And you guys, this is an emergency. There is somebody that you know that you work with that is being brutally beat and the boat is docked. Some of y'all might have stayed on the boat scared as I don't know what. Some of y'all might not would have been involved. Some of y'all would have been like, well, the police were called. But if that was you, your loved one, whatever in that melee, would that have been good enough? Again, the boat was docked. The boat was docked. Anyway, Zachary Shipman, he's the one that is balding like he's 80, but he's probably only 20. Oh, he is 25. They turned themselves in on Wednesday, and they were charged with 1 count of assault and third degree assault. Can you believe that? When he ran up and drop kicked him, 3rd degree assault. Why wasn't it attempted murder? Because he screamed at them he did. 21-year-old Mary Todd also turned herself in on Thursday. She's charged with 3rd degree assault. You know why? Because this little buttercup hair Karen, right? She literally was spitting on him and getting kicks in and spitting on him like a dog. The fact that in Alabama, they're not charging this as a hate crime. You're spitting on somebody like a dog, threatening to okay. Again, stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Again, listen, I don't know if y'all never lived around, because some of y'all be acting like people are like TV, like the Cosby, like have you ever lived around, clearly some of y'all don't have too much interaction with other people because you give too much of a benefit of doubt. You have an idealized version that people are coming with best intentions when their actions and their words clearly show different. Anyway, Richard Roberts, 48, was the first to turn himself in. He's accused of punching a 16-year-old ferry employee. Y'all, listen, this is a whole mess. It's actually super, super, super disgusting that this man had to endure this. It's disgusting. But again, for some reason, not y'all, but for some reason, literally, the fact that y'all are sitting here making excuses for the captain who basically doesn't want anybody persecuted, the fact that the police is not charging this with a hate crime, the fact that this is third-degree assault and not attempted murder. Yeah, I'm glad they got their butts beat, because if they had just waited for the police to handle, like all y'all law-abiding citizens are like, well, they called the police, nothing would have happened. Nothing would have happened at all. Just like this isn't the first run-in they had, and they called the police on them before for stuff, and the police declined and whatever. Y'all got too much faith in systems. And listen, I'm not talking about everywhere, but I am talking about Alabama. Y'all got too much faith in systems that have been set up since our people were like literally bound in chains. And systems that every single time you trust them, they screw you over. But every single time it's time to ask, why didn't you do something? Well, we trust in the system, y'all. Anyway, he hung up. It was a dinner to, listen, Mary Todd, she jumped in the belay. She was taken into custody. Okay, so he said eventually he and the dockhand untied the pontoon boat and moved it 3 steps to the right. By that time, 2 people ran up behind me. Listen, he said they were super drunk. He said, if you touch that boat, we'll beat your A. He told them, no, you won't. Pickett said that they were unaware that he had given the captain the go-ahead to dock the Harriet II. The men continued to threaten Pickett and told him, do what you got to do. I'm just doing my job. Again, the captain docked the boat. The boat was docked. Can someone explain to me why the boat was docked? Don't tell me the captain had to stay on the boat till everybody was off, because, baby, this is not the Love Boat. They got handlers to go off. You see somebody that looks like they're about to die being viciously pummeled. The captain didn't even send anybody out there to help him. The crew did that on their own. And you know the black crew that went out to help him? You know what? The captain fired them. They got fired. This is the man you guys are giving the benefit of the doubt, right? It be your own mans in them. Anyway, right? One white man called another white man over to the scene. They were both very drunk. Another man came over to try to calm them down, and then the boat's owner came over. Pickett explained the signs denoting that were to park had been taken down by someone, so he had to tell them where to move the boat to make room for Harriet II. The boat's owner started getting loud. He said, this belongs to the effing public. I told him it was a city dock. Soon the melee began. He said, by that time, the older white guy came over and hit me in the face. I took my hat off, threw it in the air. Somebody hit me from behind. I started choking the older guy in front of me so he couldn't hit me anymore, pushing him back at the same time. Then the guy in red shorts came up and tackled me. I went to the ground. I think I hit one of them. He said his attackers littered him with threats as they ganged up on him. I'm going to kill you, MFer. Beat your ass, MFer. I can't tell you how long it lasted. I grabbed one of them and just held on for dear life. Eventually, he looked up and help had arrived. 2 people were pulling them off of me. He described his assistance as coming from a tall black man and a security guard. After struggling to his feet, Pickett said he looked up and one of my co-workers had jumped into the water and was pushing people and fighting. While being held by somebody, Pickett asked to be released so he could dock the boat. He gave the necessary orders to the captain to park the vessel. Meanwhile, my nose was running, and I hear passengers and co-workers arguing with the people who attacked me. Harriet II docked, and then the ramp came down for passengers to disembark. Pickett's nephew, oh my God, his nephew was there, ran off the boat and went after them. I was screaming for him to come back. The nephew did not come back, and the encounter escalated. The security guard was trying to get the lady in red to leave. She wouldn't listen. People from off the boat and spectators were coming down at the back end of the dock. But don't worry, guys. The captain was still on the strip of a dock boat. He was a captain. He can't do anything except call the police and then go on national interviews saying he doesn't think it was race related. And the people that jumped on him, you know, they're always little pranksters and it's just something that got out of hand and it's real unfortunate to happen. But keep defending that captain that couldn't get off the boat, right? Yeah, anyway, right? They said the security guard was trying to get the lady in red to leave. She wouldn't listen. People from off the boat and spectators were coming down the back end of the dock. The guy who started it all was choking my... Oh my God. He said the guy that started it all was choking my sister. I hit him, grabbed her, and moved her. I turned around and MPD had a taser in my face. I told him I was the one being attacked and could I finish my job? The back of the cruise vessel had not been tied to the dock. Pickett, despite the chaos around him, helped passengers off the boat to aid the police. He apologized to them for the inconvenience. They all said I did nothing wrong. Some of them were giving me cards with their names and numbers. Some said they had it all on the film, so I pointed them out to the MPD. At some point, Pickett said he was led to a medic where I sat down for 25 to 30 minutes. My head was hurting. I felt a knot in the back of my head and the front. With coaxing, he sought treatment in the emergency room where he was shown to have bruised ribs and bumps on his head, which means he had concussions, but no broken bones. And all that captain of that boat had to say was, well, the 16-year-old, I think he should press charges. That 16-year-old, sadly enough, all he did was got punched in the stomach. But the black man, because they think somehow black people don't feel pain like that. They got beat up and pummeled. Oh, who cares? The captain didn't even mention him. Didn't even say he could sue because they go back and forth. They're little pranksters. Y'all listen, this is disgusting. That man was choking his sister. His nephew was on board. This is a whole mess and it's disgusting. And we want justice. Get the rest of those MFers, right? Because I want to see them in jail. Talking about some MFer, I'll beat your ass. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.